I have a finite amount of time to get all the stuff I need. And it's never enough, ever.
No.
Never.
It's a balancing act. And a lot of people say that, you can't balance starting off a company. I think you can. I think it's just what your priorities, where your mindset is. And that's why I'm pushing through all day when I can
Yeah.
until, we get the
We're
girls.
still going to show up to class parties,
That's
but
great. I mean, you got to. This episode of Professional Builders Secrets is brought to you by Apparatus Contractor Services. Apparatus provides full scope, end-to-end QuickBooks precision construction accounting and CFO services for residential builders. If you feel like you can't completely trust your weekly and monthly financial reports, or you feel like you're flying blind, Apparatus will rebuild and operate your QuickBooks accounting system and give you precision construction accounting capability you can trust. Learn more at apparatusteam.com or on the APB Rewards partner directory. Professional Builder Secrets live at IBS Thursday afternoon. It's been a big couple of days. Welcome to the show, Taylor and Mandy Shipp from Shiloh Homes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Great to have you on the show. You've actually been busy. You've been doing the content creation for IBS, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot more work than you'd think. We've been running around a lot, got a couple blisters on our feet, but we're having fun with it.
Last day, so we're going to do as much as we can.
Cool.
Finishing strong.
Well, Taylor, do you want to start with a bit of a background on what Shiloh Homes is, how you got into the business, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I was in the production, residential home building industry for about 7-ish years. And then I think one day we just,
We both come from like construction background families, so it was kind of in our nature, but he struggled a lot with the quality that production put out every day. I think it almost was set up to where it was impossible for him to do really quality homes too.
yeah, and I got burnt out, honestly. It's like, all right, let's build more, do more, give you more work. We'll give you more
Yeah.
money.
Nobody should be running 70 houses
Yeah,
at a
60,
time
70
by
at a
yourself.
time, and it was exhausting.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And it's just the
that's not
quality.
right.
When you're managing that much, the quality is just not there. It's not, and then you can't make it there, or else you will lose your mind. So,
All right, 60 or 70 homes a year. What was the change that made you want to move away from that?
I don't know. I think it was a combination. I think I tend to get burnt out real easily doing the same thing. And so with custom homes, it's, all of our homes are different. We incorporate different unique features in every one of our homes. So if we see something we'll like, I'll throw it in on frame real quick.
Yeah, and different locations too, because in production you're focusing on one neighborhood for like a year and a half. With
Sometimes it's longer.
custom, we're all over Central Texas, basically.
Yeah.
All
so
different kinds of lots
lot
and
of
different
topography.
locations.
a lot of topography, hills, rock. So
We just built a house next to a cemetery, so we love a challenge.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, is that kind of your thing, to build on weird or strange lots?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's, the market's, everything's so expensive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're even, as builders, no builder wants to pay, a whole bunch of money for a lot,
Yeah.
because it
Mhm.
just cuts into the profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what we have found that kind of our niche is,
Yeah.
aside from our price point, is finding weird, unique lots that no one wants
Yeah.
to touch. But
A lot of builders, I mean, they'll turn and burn. They want to find a good lot at an okay price. They'll build on it, get in and get out. But you can make more of a profit if you see something that you can actually lean into that weirdness. Like if it's really steep or something, you can have a lot of cool topography, landscaping. And that's a way to still be able to make a profit and make something beautiful out of, a lot that probably would have sat there next to the cemetery forever. Now
Yeah.
it's a beautiful home.
and you have to have some sort of imagination and creativity.
Yeah.
And
And then the
honestly,
buyers get a better deal too, because we're not going to sell it for probably, I don't know, what other people would sell it for a normal lot on. So they get a little bit better of a deal if they're willing to live somewhere next to a cemetery or on kind of a steep hill. And so it
But
works out for everybody.
yeah, but you have to design it just right.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. It might take a little bit longer, but we're getting, process is getting, faster and faster. So that's kind of,
Honestly, though, I think it's over everything fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
boring, that's for
Every
let's
sure.
job's
see.
different. It makes it
Yeah, let's see if
interesting.
we can pull this off.
Exactly.
It's like the opposite of spec building or production building.
Yeah,
Exactly. You're
it
not
is.
doing, because we do, I think half of our, half of our builds are specs. We enjoy doing them.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
and then the other half are client builds, which are fun too. But I think with the specs, we get to kind of do what we want
Yeah.
and get a little bit more creative, because a lot of our stuff that you've never seen before, or you might have seen on Pinterest or
Yeah.
somewhere else. And then people really don't know what they want until they see it. They're like, oh, I have
Okay.
to have that. So that's kind of what, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
That leads me into my next question. What are you both doing in the business? Maybe we'll start with you, Taylor.
I think the better question is, what are we not doing?
Yeah, we're in that phase where
What are
we're
your
wearing a lot of
defined
hats.
So mine obviously is, I have the construction background, so I'm on site, purchasing, the finances, handling with the banks, customer relationships, and we tag team a lot of stuff. And then Mandy's is more,
Yeah.
design,
Yeah.
real
I
estate.
handle pretty much all of the design from picking out the lots to all of the finishing touches. So design, working with the architects, getting the perfect plans, and I'll also list and sell the houses as well. So I do real estate. What else do I do? I do,
Oh, you got your
and then I
social
do
media.
content creation as well. So I have like 3 or 4 full-time jobs. And then we have 3 kids. So
Yeah.
it's a little crazy.
3 girls.
3 girls.
3
That's a lot
girls.
of-
Oh yeah, I'm outnumbered for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait
Crazy.
till they get older.
How old are the girls?
We have a 2, a 4, and a 9-year-old.
Okay. Okay.
And they keep getting crazier. I thought we would get a calm one eventually, but it's not the case.
Nope, it was not our destiny.
Yeah.
Is that a sign of the genes or?
I think it probably is. You're a little bit laid back, so I really thought we would have a calm kid, but
I'm laid back, but I don't like to stay still.
yeah, they don't like
So
to be still at all.
I get up in the morning and go.
Yeah.
We just focus on empowering them and, letting them be outspoken and confident. And I think that is really hard to do as a parent, but in the long run, they're going to be awesome humans. So we'll see.
At least we think.
Fingers
So-
crossed.
So it sounds like wearing multiple hats is maybe a challenge you're facing at the moment, or?
No, it is a challenge. I
Yeah.
remember when I switched over from production building to, custom building, the process was, I was going from 100 and I dropped down to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was almost having anxiety attacks because I didn't know what to do with my time.
Yeah.
And so I basically had to rewire my brain. I'm like, all right, well, this is structured completely different. It's a little more slow pace, but now we're getting busier and busier. So it's kind of, now it's creeped back up there. Not so much, just on site doing the same thing, but
Yeah.
doing everything all day.
Yeah.
So
But we're starting to delegate out. So like we're getting to the point where we're taking off certain hats and it's getting a little bit easier. But there's a level of like chaos that we thrive at to where I don't think we could ever be like a hands-off owner of a company.
no, it's, I enjoy, framing, woodworking, stuff like that, doing trim, carpentry, and then doing, she literally just made, 6 giant light fixtures for an island.
Yeah, I'm a weird art kid that just grew up to do this.
So she's got a very good eye on, trending stuff or stuff that, you've never seen before. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
hey, babe, I'm going to make this. And I'm just like, okay, cool.
He finally has given into it though. He used to be like, we don't have time for that. And I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna make time.
So I
And it
just-
ends up being really
So
cool.
I just stopped arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that resonates with anyone running a business. And we talk about finding that thing that you love and
Mhm.
doing that, but the things that you don't necessarily love or you're not as good at, you find other people to do those things.
Oh, 100%. That's why usually like real estate, I'm like, that is not my niche. Like I'll do it, but I don't necessarily want to.
Yeah,
So
and I
we
think-
kind of step back from that a little.
And I think at the end of the day, we just want to provide a product to, a client or a family that they're proud to call home.
Yeah.
We don't build houses, we build homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a, different correlation between the two. And,
Yeah.
we want someone to feel proud and comfortable and just happy.
Having
And
a
Yeah.
hand in that too, I
yeah,
think is the biggest thing. Because if we were hands off, just pointing fingers, it wouldn't be as special. I think.
yeah, and we want the building construction process with our clients to be fun and, be, fluid and, as less stressful as possible.
Yeah.
So I know
It's really hard to do in
it
construction.
it is hard, but I've seen, and we've dealt with it too. Building our house. Going to a design center, picking out all your selections. You got like a 30-minute time slot, and then
Yeah.
2 months later,
You're like, what have I done?
yeah.
We
So
live in a production home right now. We're eventually going to be building our own home, but that's going to take some time. So our house, we look at it, we're like, what were we thinking 7 years ago? This is crazy.
because a lot of stuff does get outdated. I think it's
Yeah.
every what 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
All the colors, all the color palettes switch and
We focus on
reverse.
timeless stuff now, so I think that helps a little bit. Like I love a good neutral, things that are not like super trendy, but a little bit more on the timeless side. And I think that's why it works.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what we like. I mean, yeah, that's where we are right now.
I had a guest on earlier. I mean, I don't want to go too far into the design trends because I
Yeah.
know nothing about it.
And
Same.
people get heated on it too.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
But someone from House came on and they had some data around, the design trends of what people were remodeling their houses with.
Mhm.
And apparently like pops of color are the thing at the moment, like in bathrooms as well as like front doors and that kind of stuff.
Here and there, I would
Yeah.
say. I follow trends very
Not your
strictly.
vibe.
We're a little bit more on the neutral side, just more timeless. I would say that's
Okay,
probably on
yeah.
the trendy side.
Well, the pops, I was thinking pops of colors are probably going to expire at some time pretty soon.
It
like,
will, and farmhouse is starting to expire, and people are
Oh no.
heated
You
about that.
You cannot bring that up. You will be
I
canceled.
have shiplap in my home right now, so I will just preface that by saying,
So what's the plan for you guys in terms of dealing with that stress and the fact that you're wearing multiple hats and maybe that you want to overcome that? What's the plan to make things better?
we're really putting a lot of time into scaling and what that looks like and who the right people are to bring into those roles. I think in the beginning, when you're wearing all the hats, you can't really bring people on for just one niche role. So we're bringing on people that can wear multiple hats, and then we'll grow underneath them, bringing on specific people. But
Yeah, I think it's exactly what she said. It's just organizing everything, getting our systems in place so that when we do bring people on, uh, you know, we have a set, something set for them to do, and they're not
mhm,
wondering what are they supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
So we cross train a lot, just so if we don't have a sales team, and I don't know,
yeah.
if we'll ever need one, but
We kind of want people who are like jack of all trades. I think we can do pretty much anything in our business. We don't want to have people on that have no idea what construction looks like, because then they're not going to respect the work that our trades do. So
Mm.
they're willing to get their hands dirty, it's a better environment to be in,
yeah,
especially if, we need something done last minute. I think every single one of us can jump in and, you know,
exactly,
do
because
some labor.
there's always fires to put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
At least 2 a day.
There's been a handful of times where I've had to reschedule with Rick, and he was like, I was like, I can't, I've got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's constantly changing. Stuff always flares up, and then it's just, our industry's it's not the easiest one,
Yeah.
to
No, of
manage,
course.
to be in, because it's you got
Up and
you got
down.
nails, you got woods going, you got a whole bunch of just communication back and forth with the clients.
It's like air traffic control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but hopefully we're doing a better job than that
Right now.
right now.
Canceled.
I'll talk to you more about your relationship with Rick in a second, and we'll frame up what that is. Rick's your coach.
Yes.
But how do you talk to me more about the hiring process that you'll go through to find those people that can wear multiple hats? Because I think there's a lot of builders out there that might be experiencing similar challenges.
Yeah. I think right now, the only people we have on staff are family, and we haven't brought on a ton of people. I mean, outside of like our trades, but direct in-house are family members, because we want to be able to trust people. And that is something that is hard to do, especially when they're stepping into so many roles.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we're getting there. We'll see. I was in management for a really long time, and so
Okay.
I know how scary it can be bringing on personalities of
Just
different types.
babysitting a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of different emotions and things, and some people don't click with each other, but
Yeah, and luckily with my, my time in production, and I'm still really good friends with a lot of the big builders, in the nation
yeah.
and stuff. So we have a pool of people I
Yeah.
can pull from.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was like, oh, my grand plan,
Mhm.
for the
That's how it
last 10
looks.
years, but and it really wasn't. It just kind of worked out that way. I was like, man, I'm gonna, make friends with as many people as I can in our industry. So if it does come, I can just pick up the phone and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to come,
Yeah.
you know, see what we're doing? And, if it's the right
Yeah.
fit, cool. If not,
And I
that's
think
fine
we're
too.
also a little bit set on not being massive. We don't want to hire on a ton of people. Then that's when quality is going to start to slip when we don't have our hands in everything. So we don't take on a ton of projects a year because we want to personally be involved in each one. They're definitely bigger projects, but once we start bringing on people that we've never even met before, I think that's when it starts going towards production. And that's not
Yeah.
what we necessarily want to do.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think differently?
No, I don't think differently. I think it's hard because as a young business growing, like, oh, we want to be huge, massive. And it's, I've gone back and forth, but yeah, definitely don't want to we want to keep the quality that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I got out of doing, what I was doing. So it's just, I think it's going to take us, whatever's going to happen is going to happen organically.
Yeah, I
I don't,
think it's just that's the natural progression of a lot of builders. They'll
yeah,
start off doing renovations and then that moves to, doing builds and doing specs and then it gets to production. I think we want to keep from going there. And
Yeah.
I think with that, we may never be nationwide in our side quests or what kind of grow to those bigger lengths, but we'll see.
and I think the biggest thing too is like people ask us, people have asked us that, and there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't,
true.
our industry is heavily based on the economy.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
lumber prices are high, interest rates are high, low, and then it's, inflation. It's just, there's a lot of unknowns in the future, but, luckily we have kind of positioned ourselves to where you know, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, we don't
It'll
really
be fun.
overthink it either. I think there's a lot of winging it that has gotten us to where we are. When you stop and overthink things, you'll talk yourself out of doing stuff. So we like to wing it.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about growing safely and securely, right? Which is what you're
Exactly.
talking about.
Right.
I mean, if you try and grow too quickly, it just results in heartaches. So,
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep. That's where things go wrong, especially when you're building things that are somebody's biggest investment in their life. You want to make sure that they're protected and the quality is there.
that's not to
So,
say you can't do bigger builds, like you said,
yeah.
increase your margins, all that kind of stuff while
Right.
you're doing it. So,
Because we do a handful of like renovations and stuff like
yeah.
that, but it was just kind of one of those deals. I never wanted to, but they kept falling in my lap. I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right, well, we don't know what the market's doing, and then all of a sudden, all this business comes all at once,
It
and,
always happens like that
we're
though.
just like, oh, crap.
So, what made you start looking for something like APB before you joined us?
What was it? Um, I
Needing to get structured, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. We're on the tail end of finishing a spec home, and we have, you know, literally blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
into this house. So we dumped everything, financially into it. So we didn't have a choice. And then that kind of, you know, it worked out. We got it sold and stuff. And there was a lot of risk. So, and I think it was a Michelle or
Yeah, Michelle.
she reached out to me just it was like a Saturday or Friday or something, and I was doing laundry, and I just happened to answer because I
Yeah.
get about 100 phone calls a day from
Mhm.
numbers
Oh,
from
I feel lucky you answered my phone call.
yeah, I do.
You're special.
You had uh, and she was just talking to me, and then I'm kind of like, yeah, this is where we're at. I was like, I need, like we need help, or especially with the background stuff, the organization and forecasting and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's just kind of, you know, I don't know. A lot of stuff has happened in the past year
Yeah.
you know, ups and downs.
And I think we just getting busy and feeling like, okay, we have so much we have to get done, but we have to get organized.
Yeah.
We really need to prioritize getting those tasks done. So we need help on getting organized and guidance. And I think that's how we ended up, you know, getting in contact with you
Yeah, because
guys.
at the end of the day, it's, you know, I wake up I have a finite amount of time to get all the stuff I need, and it's never enough, ever.
No.
Never.
But I'm also, you know, I'm a father of 3 girls and a husband, and that's my number 1 priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you know, I'm never gonna push them out. So I always wanna make time for them. So it's, it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people say that, you know, you can't balance starting off a company. I think you can. I think it's just what your priorities, where your mindset is, and that's why I'm pushing through all day when I can
Yeah.
until, you know, we get the
We're still gonna
girls.
show up to class parties, you know,
That's
but
great. I mean, you got to. And you moved into one-on-one coaching with Rick Moore, one of our executive coaches. How quickly did that happen after you joined membership, and what was the thinking behind that?
It was, I think it was fairly quickly. And I talked to Michelle, called me, and I had talked to her. I kind of opened up to her a little bit about, my emotions were very high at, you know, a certain point
Yeah.
of like gratitude. And we had some other things that happened to us at the same time.
yeah, went through some family stuff
Yeah,
and
and like some, you know, nominations for best
Yeah.
builder and stuff like that, and we're just like, wow, like,
yeah,
like, no, and so I'm like,
Yeah. What
well,
was that award again that you guys won? The best builder in.
best builder in Austin.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's
yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which,
No.
yeah,
You're getting shy now.
no, no,
It's okay. You deserve those flowers.
no. We like to stay humble as much as we can.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She just, you know, she sold me on it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I needed, like I said, we don't have a full staff of, you know, all right, you're doing purchasing,
Yeah.
we have an accounting,
Yeah.
we have, construction management, all this stuff. Like a lot of companies do, we're still small.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, well, let me get ahead of it. So when it does come, and it has came, that I know how to kind of, you know, manage and, you know,
Yeah.
with the construction slots and the budgeting and stuff like that. Because even marketing, we don't pay for marketing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do marketing, so
Well, exactly. As far as ads and stuff
Stay in
like
your
that.
lane.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
yeah, I'm like, listen, you probably could pay me at some point, but I think it's one of those things you don't want to do trial and error when it comes to growing your business, because that's where things get dangerous legally and all that. So it's like, okay, we need to bring in the A team to help us, because we don't want to learn hard lessons through that expansion and getting to where we want to go. That's where things get a little dicey. So I think this has helped out a lot for us.
It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
What do you feel like's been the biggest change for you since joining and working with Rick?
I think more so the trust in the process type deal, the confidence more than anything. Now I'm like, all right, I have a better idea. As far as the numbers go, you know, that's what we really dialed into, you know, doing WIPAA, construction slots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but, you know, obviously, it's, you know, things change as far as scheduling, you know, like, oh, well, we're projected to start this here at the, and then, bang, you know,
Life takes
like,
over.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh, well,
Life is always happening, I think. I think personally, just from what I've witnessed from an outside standpoint, because he'll give me updates on everything, but he's mainly in contact with you guys.
Yeah.
His viewpoint on so many things has changed for the better. I think there was a big part of time where we just had imposter syndrome, and we were just worried if we're going to like keep building houses and keep getting clients. And now we're at a point where like, okay, we are going to be charging for doing this, this, and that, because our time is worth something. And he knows that that's true now. And so he's like, nope, they're going to have to pay if they want an estimate on this. I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm proud of him.
and it has worked every time.
Yeah, I think the
Surprisingly.
confidence
That's
and
cool.
knowing you're doing the
Yeah.
right thing
Yeah.
is just super helpful.
You're talking about charging for quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because
We were wasting a lot of time.
yeah, we were. And I mean, I didn't know any different because you hear all the time, oh, we'll give you a free quote, free
Yeah.
estimate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, actually, our quotes to really dial it down, it's going to take us,
Yeah, I can.
2, 3 a month maybe to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
We're
lot
That's a
of
lot of
work.
we're
time.
not building 200 square foot homes. We're building 4,000 to 6,000 square foot homes
Yeah.
with different, regulations and
Yeah.
And it's so hard to dial that down too when they just want to quote, but everybody has different taste. Some people have normal taste, some people have very expensive taste. So how can you really throw a close number on that?
she has expensive taste.
I do.
It sounds like you want to work for clients that have expensive taste as well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. I would love
Hey,
to.
listen, it works for design because I know what is going to look nice and high end because I
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah, I think the big, another big challenge, I know we spoke the other day is, the budget. Budget. Hey, I want this. I saw this on
Oh,
here. I
yeah.
want that. I'm like, yeah, I would love to. I love, installing things I've never seen before, doing new features or cool accents, but everything comes with a price tag.
It's such a guessing game at times, I think.
Oh, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
People don't realize, and even me,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this fridge is $10,000. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Mhm.
this wood, hardwood is so expensive now. Like,
You'd
hey,
be surprised. I mean, even just with hardware, one can be like a couple dollars more expensive than another, but you times that by 300, it's a lot more money, if you're putting that much handles and knobs in a house. So all the little things people don't think about, we have to think about, and
Yeah.
it's a lot.
and we focus a lot on the details too. So trim carpenter comes and does all this, or a painter comes. It's a great example. I'll literally be like, hey, I will buy you a whole pack of tape. I need you to tape everything off
Yeah.
like crisp lines, and
Yeah.
it's the attention to detail that I think makes the difference. And there's a lot of great builders that do that and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
And the trades too, I
yeah,
will say, because there are, some that are crews that their job is to work fast. But you can have what are the three? Quality, affordability,
no, it's qual. Oh, no, I forgot what it was now. Um,
and cost. It's
you
cost.
got good, fast, or cheap. You can only
Yes.
pick two.
Yeah, you can only pick two. And
And cheap is
honestly,
probably not the one in that
that is not the
situation.
one that you
Yeah.
want at all. For production, yes, because they're gonna get it done in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Mm,
But for us, our guys take a little bit longer because it's built on site or they have to get certain materials in. So I think that's a big difference.
we have a lot of stuff built on site. A lot of the
Yeah.
stuff we do ourselves, just because even I think, there's something I have in my head. I'm like, all right, this is what I want it to look like, but no one else knows what it
It
is.
doesn't exist.
And I
Yeah.
get frustrated. I'm like, why don't you know what it is?
Yeah.
I need you to know what I'm thinking.
That
And
we're
it-
experimenting with different stains because we need it to
Uh.
look a certain way and nobody knows how to make it look that way.
so I'm working
It's
with the painters. I do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. No, that doesn't work. Let's do it this way.
it's like
So,
science class.
yeah, it's a lot of training on site, but with the trade, with the trades that we have, they stick with us and we train them, and we pay them like,
Yeah,
good.
they
Yeah.
get paid well. They're happy.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of it's quality control and just, setting those expectations so that they know what they're walking into.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. So what's happening next for you guys? What's the plan over the next 12 months? What are you implementing in the business?
Jeez.
next 12 months, we got a lot of client builds coming
Yeah.
up. We got nominated for Best Builder in Austin, which comes out next month.
Yeah.
So it's
Not nominated one.
oh
So
sorry.
that'll probably bring on more clientele.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think we're doubling in our work. So it's gonna a lot of
That's when
pretty
you need
much
the
be
slots in
hiring.
place, right?
Exactly.
Especially if you're getting a lot
Yeah.
more coming in. Yeah.
yeah.
And you
That
can increase your margins as well.
exactly that hiring, expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what our focus is slowly expanding without going crazy.
Yeah. So we actually are at the point now. It doesn't seem like it because we're not doing a ton of jobs, but we'll turn down a lot of stuff just because it would compromise the quality of our other products. So
Mhm,
I don't do anything design outside of Shiloh Homes until probably I think I'm booked out until the end of this year,
mhm.
just because the focus needs to be on what we're doing.
Yeah, that's our main priority. So, and then everything else will come. Like, and I'm sure we'll get thrown a lot of other, opportunities and stuff our way, but it's just kind of we're just enjoying what we're doing. So we're
Yeah.
kind of living in the now
Yeah.
We
and
run off
work.
vibes and caffeine, I think, is really it.
Great. Well, Taylor, Mandy, thanks so much for coming on Professional
Yeah.
Builder Secrets today. I've
No,
loved
thank you
having
for
a
having
chat to
us.
you and sharing your story.